20 key tips from Dale Carnegie's book, How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. People are often under the control of emotions and constant anxiety. Many of us dislike the job we earn money from, the conditions we live in, the food we eat. It seems our dreams are destroyed, and the thought arises more and more often that life isn't going the way it should. That was how Dale Carnegie felt. He asked himself the question, what will I gain and what will I lose if I do what I want? He realized that quitting a hated job was worth trying to be happy. That decision helped him start from scratch. Based on his own experience, he wrote a book with recommendations that helped a huge number of people change their lives for the better. These tips are fairly simple and easy to remember. Tip 1. Live for today and enjoy life. Worrying about the future that hasn't come and the past that cannot be changed, we waste our energy on emotional suffering and nervous anxiety. Our problem is that we don't value time. As children, we wish to grow up quickly. Then we dream of going back to school or university years. In the hustle of everyday life, we wait for retirement. But when retirement comes, we face the harsh truth of how much we've missed and that it can no longer be changed. But the meaning of life lies in enjoying every hour, every minute. The best way to influence tomorrow is to concentrate our energy and abilities on completing today's tasks. Solve future problems now and don't regret what happened yesterday. In any difficult situation, focus on opportunities and look for positive moments. Tip 2. Take an example from the hourglass. Each grain of sand falls at a unit of time. Likewise, people should focus on one activity during a set time. Multitasking leads to distraction. Dedicate a set time to a task and do only that. You'll see your work become more efficient without confusion or hesitation. Tip 3. Imagine the worst-case scenario. Even in the most difficult situation, analyze it and imagine the worst outcome. Once you accept it, you realize the situation, though unpleasant, could have been much worse. This will help you relax and feel peace of mind. Millions of people ruin their lives with resentment instead of trying to change it. They complain about fate, but such complaints only lead to a painful state of melancholy. A young man was told he was terminally ill and had months to live. He decided to live life to the fullest, took a round-the-world sea trip, drank whiskey, smoked cigars, ate exotic food, played, and had fun with a joy he hadn't felt in years. When he reached China and India, he realized his own worries were paradise compared to the poverty and hunger he saw in the East. He stopped suffering from pointless anxieties, calmed down, and rested his soul so much that he returned home having gained 90 pounds and showed no signs of illness. Many who go to doctors could heal themselves if they let go of fear and simply learn to live and enjoy the moment. No wonder the famous French philosopher Montaigne, after being elected mayor of Bordeaux, told his fellow citizens, "I agree to take your affairs into my hands, but not into my liver and lungs." Live by the same principle. Tip 4. First facts, then decisions. People worry when they try to make decisions before gathering the necessary information. Lack of information causes panic. Panic leads to wrong decisions. Wrong decisions create fear, which leads to mistakes. A vicious cycle. If you have a problem with a deadline, use that time to prepare. Gather facts, analyze, evaluate, and write everything down, even what contradicts your wishes. Then make a plan and follow it. Remember, overthinking without action can cause more confusion and worry. Tip 5. Hold meetings focused on results. Set a rule. To bring a problem up for discussion, prepare answers to 4 questions. What is the problem? What caused it? What are possible solutions? What solution do you suggest? After that, in 3 out of 4 cases, a decision can be made without discussion. Tip 6. Busyness is the cheapest medicine. At the height of the war, Winston Churchill worked 18 hours a day. When asked if he worried about the huge responsibility, he replied, "I'm too busy to have time for worry." Being busy helps drive out anxiety. You can't think about two things at once. Try thinking about the Statue of Liberty and your morning plans at the same time. You'll see it only works in sequence. Same with emotions. You can't feel excited about a project and depressed at the same time. One emotion replaces the other. As George Bernard Shaw said, "Keep busy. Always stay busy. It's the cheapest medicine on earth, and one of the best." Tip 7. Use the law of large numbers. Many people have baseless fears. Carnegie himself feared lightning, being buried alive, starving, or never getting married. But his fears were false. What are the real odds your fears will happen? Insurance companies make millions on human fears linked to events that rarely occur. 1 in 350,000 people is killed by lightning. The chance of being buried alive is 1 in 10 million. Assess events by probability. Tip 8. Set a worry limit. In stock trading, to avoid losing all capital, traders use stop-loss orders. For example, buying shares at $50 with a stop at $45. If the price drops, they're sold automatically, limiting loss. You can apply this principle to negative thinking. One key to real peace of mind is properly assessing values. Develop your own value system and set a mental stop-loss for worry, then forget it. Tip 9. Don't saw sawdust. Leave the past in the past. Endless worrying about what happened drains energy. Who hasn't mulled over past life events? Probably most of you. But sawdust can't be sawn again. It's already cut. When you dwell on the past, you're sawing sawdust. There's only one way to benefit from the past. Calmly analyze mistakes so they're not repeated. Then forget them completely. Don't create problems in advance or worry over the unchangeable. Tip 10. Evaluate what's happening correctly. Our thoughts create the quality of our life. We think about happiness and we feel happy. If sad thoughts appear, we feel sad. If destructive thoughts creep in, we become anxious. Constructive thinking helps you find a way out of even the most difficult situations faster. When a person crosses a busy street, they take care not to get hit by a car. To care means to be aware of a problem and calmly take steps to solve it. Try to maintain a friendly attitude and enjoy pleasant little things. The already mentioned philosopher Montaigne said, "A person suffers not so much from what happens, but from how they evaluate what happens." How we interpret events depends entirely on us. Tip 11. Don't please your enemies. Hatred toward enemies gives them power. They affect our sleep, appetite, blood pressure, our health, and happiness. Our enemies would be thrilled if they knew how much worry, torment, and trouble they cause us. Our hatred exhausts our own happiness and health. Tip 12. Lower your expectations and don't expect gratitude. Don't expect gratitude if you're doing something from the heart. Don't demand that others match your views on goodness, honor, or decency. Everyone has their own opinion on that. This will protect you from bitterness and disappointment. To someone, you may seem bad even if you gave them $1 million. Andrew Carnegie left his nephew $1 million. Instead of gratitude, the nephew cursed him, saying, "Old Andy gave $365 million to charity and left me some miserable million." There's only one way to earn love. Stop demanding it and start giving it without hoping for thanks. Tip 13. Realize your own wealth. Most people don't understand the treasures they possess. But if you have 2 hands, 2 legs, a roof over your head, a job, family, and friends who support you in tough times, you are already fabulously rich. If it feels unfair that you work hard but haven't achieved financial success, ask yourself, would you trade what you have, your health, relationships, or children, for $1 million? If not, then you're a truly wealthy person because you have far more than material wealth. To be happy, you just need to focus on the good and not dwell on the bad. Set 2 goals. The first is to achieve what you strive for. The second is to enjoy what you've already achieved. Also, help those in need. It will teach you to value your own life and understand how lucky you really are. Tip 14. Treat unfair criticism as a sign of envy and a hidden compliment. Many people feel cruel satisfaction when insulting those more educated or successful. The taller a person stands, the more glee the crowd feels at their stumbles or weaknesses. For example, during the U.S. Civil War, Lincoln was fiercely criticized, yet he never responded to it, considering it madness, and that was wise. If people try to humiliate you, it means you've achieved something. So don't waste your energy or time reacting. Do your best till the end. If it succeeds, their attacks won't matter. If it fails, no justification will change the outcome. Tip 15. Remember, people don't care about you. People are too preoccupied thinking about what others think of them. But most likely, they're not thinking of you at all because they're focused on the same worry. One journalist published a harsh article about Carnegie's work. Carnegie took it as an insult and demanded a written retraction. But it turned out half of his friends who bought the paper never even read the article. And those who did thought it was a harmless joke and forgot it the next day. Had Carnegie not asked, they wouldn't have remembered it. By giving importance to such episodes, we create problems ourselves. Try to treat slander with humor. A person trying to prove they're not a camel looks ridiculous. Tip 16. Track your foolish actions. People usually blame others for their troubles. Memory is selective. Revisiting past events, we often think we had no other choice. But usually, our misfortunes are our own fault. That's why constructive criticism and self-analysis make us better, helping us evaluate the past more clearly. Stop blaming fate for your problems. Sometimes you just need to see the situation from another angle. Tip 17. Learn to relax. Physical fatigue often causes anxiety, or at least makes us more prone to it. Fatigue lowers the body's resistance to colds and hundreds of illnesses, and to fear and worry. You must learn to relax, because any nervous or emotional tension can be eliminated through full relaxation. Simple advice: rest more often, before you feel tired. Even after passing 70, Henry Ford looked healthy and energetic. When asked about the secret to his health, he replied, "I never stand when I can sit and never sit when I can lie down." Rest before you're exhausted, and you'll gain hours in your active life. Tip 18. Don't strain where it's unnecessary. It's a mistake to think that hard work must involve tension to be successful. We frown when concentrating, sit hunched, we make our muscles do extra work that doesn't help our brain. Judge your productivity not by how tired you are, but by how not tired you are. If you feel worn out, it's likely not from mental work, but from how you worked. Most likely, your work was inefficient, in both quantity and quality. Tip 19. Boredom causes fatigue and anxiety. Emotional factors like boredom, resentment, feeling unappreciated, and the meaninglessness of work. These are major causes of fatigue for office workers. Rushing, anxiety, worry, procrastination, these emotional drains weaken the worker, lower productivity, and send them home with headaches. In truth, we get tired because our negative emotions cause nervous tension. If you do intellectual work, you rarely get tired from the amount of work. Fatigue comes not from the task, but from emotions, that you won't make it, don't know how to do it, or are constantly interrupted. There are simple steps to reduce workplace anxiety. Clear your desk of everything except what's needed for your current task. Plan your day ahead of time. Rank tasks by importance, and do them in that order. If a problem can be solved immediately, do it. Don't just write it in a planner. Even if it takes little time, you'll feel relieved. Organize your work, delegate, and supervise to avoid drowning in chaos. This isn't easy. Many people aren't competent enough yet. But how will they learn if you do everything yourself? Also remember, suffering in silence, hiding your troubles, leads to intense nervous tension. We all need to share our worries. Share your concerns. We must feel that someone is ready to listen and understand us. Tip 20. Eliminate insomnia. Surely you've noticed, when you get a good night's sleep, problems no longer seem as serious as they did the night before. So, to stop worrying about insomnia, follow 3 rules. First, if you can't sleep, get up and work or count until you feel sleepy. Second, remember that no one has ever died from lack of sleep. Worry about insomnia does more harm than insomnia itself. Third, exercise. Get yourself so physically tired that staying awake is impossible. In fact, regular workouts help switch your brain away from worry. If you liked the video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss new videos. Leave a comment with books or topics that interest you. Maybe they'll be the basis for future videos.